don't have camels of my own, so luckily I have friends that do. And by working out a trade, we're able to, well, barter a bit. So my goat milk products for their camel milk and some Camel Tallow. You may wonder, how difficult is it to get Camel Tallow? Well, it's pretty difficult because they live a long time. It's rare that they do die, but fortunately, or unfortunately, however you want to look at this, this was unfortunately one of the animals that had grown very old and had passed, and so we're simply putting it to good use here. It's very rare, so rare that this will probably be the only time I make it. I only got enough actually to make a couple of different loaves of soap, and this is one of them. And I want to tell you how fortunate I feel and how almost honored I feel that I'm able to do this. Some people may think that it's disrespectful to treat an animal this way, but the fact is, these animals lived a better life than many people's dogs or cats even live. Talk about free range. Very happy animal. Lived a very long life. And he pretty much had his own harem for years. And matter of fact, the milk comes from one of his quote-unquote wives. So this was something that I felt very good about, being able to, create a soap from it. And it's basically a white soap that I'm going to be coloring with some activated charcoal and then a mixture of spinach powder, kale powder, and spirulina. And that's it. I wanted to keep it very simple because it's just about the ingredients themselves. And I'm adding no essential oils or no fragrance to this, so it's going to be a very gentle soap. I'm really exciting. Perhaps I was at one time, but I'm really excited about this one. And I wanted to create a design on top that utilizes what little skills I have in decorating. So I am perfectly okay. Oh, excuse me for the noise there. I am someone who doesn't spend a lot of time on making decorative soaps, as you may know if you've seen my soaps. But it's something that I'm working at. How do you like my lasered soap mold? Came out great, didn't it? But I don't spend a lot of time with decoration. But some people really do like that. I think most people like it. So I'm trying to stretch out a bit and keep it, of course, as natural as I can, because that is, after all, what the channel is about. And I first started this out, I'm going to be very honest with you. Those designs that I'm making there, what I was going to be making was clover leaves. That was the idea. 3 dots, and then I was going to put green inside each of those dots, which I actually do. These were the black dots. Then I go back and do the green on top of it. And what I was going to do was use a skewer and create a clover design. And the fact is, the soap was too thin. And it was just being too wispy and not doing what I wanted it to do. And so I immediately realized, you know what, you're not going to be able to do your clover design that you had hoped for. So that's why you see me just sort of spreading out these larger blobs here, as I decided, you know what, I'm just going to do an all-over design. But I wanted to break up the large blobs that I created, so I'm just taking the skewer and just spreading out from the center, so kind of blending the green into the black, which is the activated charcoal. And then I decided, you know what, I'll just take this and create a whole new, just a swirl design. It's basically nothing too specific. As you'll see here, it's just, well, you can see. And I did try to make sure that there was enough of the black and enough of the green in it to give different colors of green. I wanted the black to create a gradation from a dark green down to a very pale green. Now, that doesn't show here until the soap dries overnight. So here in the design, it looks just black and white, doesn't it? But you'll see once the next day, it does look green. See? So you'll see some areas where it's darker and some areas where it's lighter. And that's really what I was going for. And it was very, and was fun for me. The waiting was kind of exciting. I'm sure some of you that make soap, that there is that moment between the time you make something and the time you bring it out and you exhibit it, that there's that anticipation up to that point, and when you realize, hey, it worked, it came out great. Is it what I initially was going for? No. But you know what? I find that 80% of the time, things don't come out exactly the way that, when it comes to design, as far as the purpose of the soap and the ingredients of the soap, those do come out just as I want them to, because I follow a recipe or recipes that I know very well and have used for many years, more years than many of you have been alive, actually. But when it comes to different design elements and things like that, oftentimes they go askew a bit. But one of the things that I have learned, and hopefully throughout your hopefully through your lives, you have found that to be true too, that mistakes happen and we learn from those mistakes and we become better at those things, right? That not everything will always be just as we hope that it'll be, but something out of that can still come, something positive. if I make a mistake doing something like designing a soap, first of all, that's not such a big deal in the big scheme of things, is it? But I'm showing that something lovely can come out of even an error and even out of a misstep. And you know what? This is Patrick going off on one of his rambles again. I ask for your forgiveness. In my head, these things make sense, and sometimes when I try to put them into words, I think it's because this is unscripted. I don't write these things down. I don't have a thought when I start. Well, some people would say I never have a thought, but hope you enjoyed this anyway, folks. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.